Get creative in minutes, learn 10 unique text-to-image styles today. Well, hello people of Playground. Let's get right into it, and I want to cover some basic prompt structure for those of you that may be new to Playground. On the screen, you're seeing a very basic format that you can follow when you're building your prompt. Keep in mind, this is a very general format. These aren't hard rules, and you can move around your prompts based on the output that you get. Now, typically, words of importance should be closer to the front to give more emphasis. If we look at this prompt, you see that we have the type of image that we want, which is a digital painting. Our subject, which is a sailboat on the sea, also covering the environment. And then we have thunderstorm, tidal waves, which also covers the environment, but also gives us a sense of action with the tidal waves. If we look at the images, we see we get exactly what we want, a sailboat amidst this thunderstorm with crashing tidal waves, right? Now this time around, I'm going to put thunderstorm and tidal waves at the front of the prompt to further emphasize the effect. And now we see the image is much more dramatic. The waves look a lot more aggressive. We even have this orange type of hue coming through the image to emphasize aggressiveness. So as you can see, moving those words to the front of the prompt can yield different results. Now before we get into the first style, let's take a look at the settings. Under your model, we're going to select Playground v2.5. Image dimensions is totally up to you. I'm just going to use 1024 by 1024. For speed and quality, fast is more than enough. However, if you feel you want to use high quality, be my guest. And it's as simple as that. Playground v2.5 is optimizing the background to use optimal settings and samplers so that you can just focus on being creative with your prompt. Now the first style is called Playtune, and some of you that are more familiar with our older filters that we used to have for Stable Diffusion 1.5, we're going to create 8 of them in this session. But make sure to check the link in the description below where you can access all of these prompts. So if we look at the prompt here, I've already entered my subject, which is a cute and adorable baby dragon. We have our type of image here, which is basically a style. We're going to enter Playtune style here. We have big circular reflective eyes. Now, if you're making characters, leave that in there. But if it's an inanimate object, you want to take big circular reflective eyes out. We have Pixar render to mimic that Pixar look. Unreal Engine is just a type of rendering for like 3D video games, CGI, that type of thing. And then we have some modifiers here to complement the look. So let's go ahead and generate this. Here are a couple of images of our baby dragon. Very big eyes, which I like, really cute and adorable. Now before we move on to the next style, all you need to do is go into your actions menu at the top here and click on Turn into Preset. We're going to name it Playtune. I like to put the model version, and then you want to check off the settings that you want to save. I like to keep everything checked except for the seed. Everything else I'll save, and then we'll go ahead and click Create Preset. Under the Presets menu, you see now I have Playtune Playground v2.5. The next style we're going to take a look at was very popular amongst the users as well. This one is called Storybook. At the front of the prompt, we have Storybook style. Here's where you would fill in some of your prompt, mainly the subject and the action. In this case, it's dog running in the park. You can specify a type of breed if you want. I'm going for a very general one. I've inserted kids storybook to kind of emphasize that style even more. It's like doubling down. And to round it off, we've got muted colors and watercolor. And here are the first 2 images. As you can see, it adopts that nice watercolor style. I love the action as if he's leaping in the air there with the dirt coming off the ground. And then the other 2 images here looks really good. Now, in case it's not obvious, you can build on this prompt. We can have boy running in the park with his dog. But generally speaking, if you keep it simple and just adjust the main part of the prompt, you'll get the same results regardless of what you prompt for. As long as you keep the general words the same, you can always add more on top. The next 2 styles are 2 of my own that I often like to use. This first one is called Vintage Analog. For this style, I've put in analog style and vintage allure at the front. The subject is an old school 1908 Ford Model T in the city. To complement that vintage look, I'm also using Polaroid and film grain. And for modifiers, I have muted colors and vignette. Now I'm using this for old school vehicles, but you could totally use this for people and portraits. So here are the first two images. Definitely has that nice vintage Polaroid feel. And in terms of the muted colors, looks a bit worn. Yeah, I really dig this style. The next one I'm going to show you is called Paper Cut. At the very front of the prompt, we're going to put thick layered paper cut art. Our subject is butterfly on a flower. I tend to like using this particular word, fractal patterns, because it really emphasizes that look. And I kind of went heavy on the modifying words here, deep 3D, volumetric, thick paper, to really emphasize the arts and craft type of look. And I'm always fascinated by the results we get. Great colors and texture. You really get a sense of the layers and the depth of the image on this particular style. Now, as I show you a quick montage of the rest of the styles, let me know in the comments below which ones are your favorites. And if you want to try out some 2D styles, make sure to check out this video right here. Until the next one, my friends, this is Playground.